no knock on Krispy Kreme, but
Right, and
dude,
I love Krispy Kreme too. I mean,
but see,
good donuts.
I don't.
Yeah, and some people
Like,
don't.
I tried to eat a Krispy Kreme one time, and
Yeah,
this was probably
and they're
about.
heavy sugar.
Oh yeah, it was probably about a year ago
Yeah.
when I was still doing things, and
And see, back in the day, I could easily stop by there and
oh
get,
yeah,
like a half a dozen and a coffee. Boom,
shoot,
eat them all. Like
dang
it was
sir,
nothing.
that's a lot.
It was a lot.
God.
I don't even know how many calories it was, but
I don't think you were counting.
I wasn't. I was counting how many donuts I had left.
Exactly. That's yeah.
And they were so warm and fresh and
shoot. Yeah, like you were saying, once you kind of start getting on track and eating right as a whole, things just kind of like, it's not even really a guilt factor. It's not like, oh, I ate a donut and now I feel bad about it. It's like, I just don't want a donut because I don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat something healthier than a donut.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like a mindset shift, and it just kind of changes your concepts.
And I think one thing for me that helps me too is, like, I know, especially like before a workout, like I always try to eat my healthiest stuff like before the workout, because then I perform better at the gym. Now, after the workout, if I have something that's not as healthy, that's one thing, but I try never to have too much or anything that's unhealthy before.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before, and man, it affects you.
Oh yeah.
Like, you feel lethargic, you just feel I don't know, you just feel like crap. And then generally your workouts are pretty crap too, so.
Well, and I went over this in I think the most recent episode. I talked about like the gut brain axis thing.
Yes.
So that's a pretty crazy thing to look into if you start doing the research, because actually your gut like takes the nutrients from the food, shoots it up to your brain,
right,
and then your brain feeds off of what you're actually eating.
Right, exactly.
And if you keep eating a bunch of garbage like I was,
exactly,
you can actually short circuit yourself and decrease your own motivation.
Yeah.
And then like when I was going to the gym, just recently even trying to get back into the gym, like the more the crappier I ate, the worse I felt when I was there.
Well, yeah. And it's like it just, I don't know, it saps your motivation.
It really does.
Like, I mean, it's not that the food didn't taste good. Of course it tasted good. I mean, but yeah, when you get there and you realize that it's not working for you, but it's more working against you, then it's like, okay, I'm willing to eat something that may not taste quite as good as a burger or whatever, but that's going to give me that oomph, for what I need at the gym. So.
Well, and I will tell you, there is nothing that will bring up your lunch more than trying to do a workout after you ate some crap.
Yeah.
Dude, it will all come back.
It will. It will. And that's another reason why I don't like to eat anything like that prior to a workout, if I can, because, it's not worth it.
No, it's not.
It's just not.
Like, funny story, so I had some Fazoli's for lunch. You'll get a kick out of
today?
This. No, not today. No, it was, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I think. And so, like, I had some Fazoli's, and I, of course, didn't have anything healthy at Fazoli's. So I had, like, a big, fat bowl of, like, the baked spaghetti. Yeah, you know those. Those are good.
I do, sir.
Of course, I had to add the cheesecake in there. You can't,
of course.
Can't not get the cheesecake.
Right.
And so I tried to do a run that day. Dude, I was about 3 seconds from blowing all that cheesecake right back out on the track.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was not fun.
Yeah. And in the past, I mean, not recently, but a long time ago, when I would work out, not as by any means as hardcore, more, in my early 20s probably. Yeah, there were some times where, that stuff did come up when I was at the gym. And it's not a fun experience.
Ooh. No, like actually?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, you had to hurry up and get to the restroom or somewhere.
Oh, I thought you meant like just straight up on the bar.
Fortunately, no.
Okay.
But, boy, it came close.
I'm sure.
It came close.
Dang, man. Yeah.
But it just goes to show, though, like, how important your diet is. And, and I think sometimes if people are not eating very healthy, but they're they're still going to the gym and they're doing a little bit of stuff, but when you go to the gym and you're really pushing your body to its limit for you at that moment in time, man, it becomes more important what you're fueling it with. I mean, if you put diesel inside of a gasoline engine, it ain't gonna be very long before it craps out.
Yeah, it won't.
So run. I mean, it really, the fuel source that you're using, it's so important. So.
Yeah. And so I was gonna bring up a subject matter.
Sure.
So you are in your 40s now.
Yes, 41.
Okay.
Early 40s.
Grandpa.
Early 40s.
Well, you are technically a grandpa.
I am.
I can legally say
I
that.
am a young papa.
So, do you have any? I wouldn't say advice, but any insight on the health lifestyle change as a older gentleman?
I mean, honestly, to be perfectly honest, like, yes, my biological age is 41, but because of not pushing myself very hard and eating a lot of junk, and especially kind of throughout most of my probably 20s and 30s, to be honest, like, at the age that I am now, not only am I way healthier and way stronger, but I feel better than I did then, which is crazy.
Really? Okay.
But it's true. I mean, I feel better than I did when I was younger, which doesn't make sense maybe to most people's brains, but
I could see
because
that.
it's not just the actual age that you are, because maybe you're early 20s, but if you're really unhealthy, then compared to the guy that's in their 40s that's really eating the right kind of foods and doing some kind of movement, whether it's the park or the gym or swimming or whatever, or biking or whatever, but enough to stay active, boy, it makes a difference.
Well, and I can attest to that, just personal experience, because I'm in my mid-20s, and man, I can say that you're definitely healthier than me.
Maybe
at the moment. Maybe not like probably medically, but
I don't know.
You may be. Shoot,
but maybe I don't know. I just know that at the age I am now, by especially getting all that excess weight off my frame, I feel so much better.
Oh yeah.
I can move around. I don't get winded. I can now if you're doing something really strenuous, you get a little winded, but you know what I mean.
Well, sure.
But at the time, it was a struggle when I was so overweight to just stoop over and tie my shoe.
Oh yeah.
It was just a struggle. So
everything's a struggle when you're overweight.
Yeah. It wears on you.
Well, so. and I'm not even that overweight.
Yeah, and right.
I don't feel good all the time.
Yeah.
And I know it, but just, you mentioned getting weight off your frame. That's been my number one priority now.
Yeah, now.
It wasn't earlier, but it is now.
Yeah.
Because not only do I need to be lighter just to run, but, when I'm running and I'm putting all that weight on my joints.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
Makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that and just
every stride. Yeah.
Every single one. And, it affects you.
Yep.
Every single little bit of it. But, is there any hurdles that have kind of come up throughout your lifestyle changes that you've run into that you'd say were kind of challenging?
I think probably the biggest hurdle is just making sure that you make the time for what's important. You know what I mean? So, like, as far as fitness and health, no one's going to do that for me but myself, right? So I have to prioritize that a lot. So, there's times when I could be doing something else, but I need to be at the gym, or, you know what I mean? So I think, and being married and everything too, but you just have to prioritize your time.
Sure.
Because we all get the same 24-hour block of time every day, and it comes down to what your priorities are. Obviously you got to go to work or you got to go to school. There's a period of time you got to sleep. There's and there's things that you got to do in life. You got to go shopping. You got to go do whatever, right? But when it comes to your health, it's like nobody's going to do that for you but you.
That's true.
You're in control of that as much as you choose to be. So, man, yeah, just I think for me one of the biggest hurdles is just really learning to try and prioritize my time the best I can.
Now, we'll speak into that a little bit, because you actually you actually, we were going to do this episode way long ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, even further than that. I think I asked you like a month ago.
Maybe.
It's been a minute, but
okay. Maybe
you had told me that you wanted to wait because you wanted to kind of get things back on track.
Yeah, because I had been kind of a little bit slacking on some of my intensity and stuff, and I wanted to make sure I was just in the right headspace to chat about it again, and just, like whatever progress that I've now had, and so, but yeah, I mean, it's going in the right direction, which is good. Good. So, and I may get to the point where I shut a little bit more, weight down again, but even at 160, I mean, I feel really good. I'm pushing some pretty good amount of weight, and I'm not quite as vascular as I was, but that's okay. So,
well, give it time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
but, now I will say, like you mentioned time, so we were actually like going to the sauna every single time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you actually stopped doing that.
Yeah, I haven't really done the sauna a whole lot lately. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it. But again, it's an extra time commitment. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna. That's the point I was trying to get to with all of it, was that you cut it out because of the fact that you wanted to spend more time at home.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you get off work at 5. You get to the gym, you do all your workout stuff, and then by about 7 is when I'm done with that. So it's like if I do the sauna, then that's another 20 minutes or so in the sauna, and by the time I actually get out of the gym, maybe it's 7:30. By the time I actually get home, it's getting closer to 8, and then you got about 2 hours before you got to be in bed. And
that's true.
And I mean, so for the sake of just shaving off certain things where I can, and I mean, and I do think that the sauna has a lot of benefit. I'm a huge believer in the sauna, and it may get to the point where I try to do that more frequently. So I still enjoy that a lot. I just haven't been doing that specific thing as much as of lately.
Well, that's the priority thing that you're talking about. It's just,
but if I prioritize, one or the other, obviously my workouts are going to be a much higher priority than just going and sitting in a sauna.
Well,
sure. So if I got to shave one of them off, I'm going to do the sauna.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I know that.
So, I mean, it's just priorities. I mean,
But, I mean, the main motivation was spending more time at home. And,
Yeah, and that's part of why because, when I first started going back to the gym several years ago, like, I'd be there for, like, 3 hours.
Yeah, that's insane.
2.5, 3 hours. So, I mean, that was really kind of a little overkill, probably. Like, so... because, I mean, I'm not trying to necessarily be a bodybuilder or anything, so I started to prioritize where I was pretty firm on giving myself, like, right at an hour and a half total amount of time to do the workout, and then when that time runs out, then whether I've done 5 different exercises or 6 or 7, or it doesn't matter, when the time runs out, you're done for that session.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And I've been pretty consistent with sticking to that, so.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, man, how do you, so how long have you actually been working out consistently?
Well, truly consistently, like from when I had gotten up to my heaviest and actually started the process of losing weight, it was right around March of 2020.
Oh, shoot. Dang.
Yeah,
so you've been at it for
about 5 years, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Dang, man, shoot.
Yeah. Now before that, like, especially back in, like, high school and stuff like that, like, I had like weightlifting sets at the house, back then you weren't really going to a gym as much, but I mean, I had all the stuff at home, and I would do workouts at home, but it was more just for, recreational stuff. Like, I wasn't hardcore serious, because I was still eating junk back then as a kid and drinking my sodas and, watching TV and just all the other stuff kids do, right? So, it was more of a hobby. Now it's more of a passion.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more of a lifestyle change. It's more of a passion. It's a drive. It's not and it's a therapy for me, I guess, because I like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm not competing against anybody else particularly. It's just I'm challenging myself to try and be the best version of myself that I feel like I can be.
Yeah.
So, and I think that can apply to other areas of life too, not just the gym,
Oh,
so,
yeah, disciplines bleed into other disciplines.
Yeah, I mean, stuff with our church, stuff with family, just other areas of life too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, you kind of answered my question.
Well,
but,
good.
Without asking it, I was going to ask you, like, how do you avoid burnout?
Yeah.
Mostly, because that, for me, that has been the number one kick in my pants is.
How do you avoid the burnout?
Burning out.
I think because for me, it's really, it started out as kind of a necessity because like I knew that I was kind of heavy and I needed to lose weight so that I wouldn't have long-term potential health problems and things. But it turned from that into a really more of a passion and enjoyment. So, and you have to find stuff that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Not everybody would enjoy, 3 sets of push-ups to failure every day or or different things like that. But because I personally enjoy that kind of stuff, it's a routine.
Yeah.
It's something that it's like in my brain. I just know, boom, I'm gonna do that every day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I got to get it done. Rain or shine, basically. I mean, every now and then I might skip one, but for the most part. And so, I don't know. It's just a passion.
Just so constantly driven, constantly after it.
Yeah. I mean, kind of chasing the pump in a way, I mean, just
chasing every mile. Okay.
Chasing.
There you go.
Could be miles eventually, but
well, shoot. Maybe one of these days I'll get you out there on the track.
Yeah.
The last time I did that, you smoked me, so I don't know if I want to.
I can still run. I just have not been running much.
Well, I know. I need to.
I'm not in as good of probably running shape as what like somebody that runs all the time would be, but I mean, just endurance wise, I've got a lot of stamina, so I could probably get out there and run a fair amount.
Oh, sure.
Before I just crapped out, but.
Well, hopefully you don't crap out on the track.
Yeah.
Have to scoop you up and drag you back inside. Well, I mean, and that kind of that kind of attributes to the idea of you can change it up a little bit. Because when we did the last episode, I was working out with you every single day almost and doing the exact same thing every single time. But nowadays, when I'm actually consistent.
But you hit some of your greatest PRs back then, too.
I did, man. That is true.
So see, there is something to say about just consistency and then being kind of helped to be driven by somebody else, maybe.
And the accountability.
And that I think that because a lot of people, like I have noticed, like a lot of people, like say that go to the gym, like they always got to go with a battle buddy, they always got to go with somebody to kind of motivate them and help them. And me, I guess I've always been kind of more of a self-motivated kind of a person.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a big deal. I'm used to pushing myself because I'm competing against myself. So I've always kind of been that way. But I do understand a lot of people, they might need that partner to really kind of help drive them,
Well, sure. Well, I mean, shoot, you say that. There's in Arnold Schwarzenegger's own book, he even says in there, I can't work out without somebody there. He said, I have to have a buddy to work out with.
And a lot of people are like that,
I mean, shoot.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you can find, find the right person to be, like, there at the same time and be consistent with you, then that works good.
Well, see, you just brought up the kicker there. They have to be consistent,
That's the thing.
Yeah. You can't rely on people that aren't going to be... as into it as
I guess
you are.
Because for me, I've always been more of like a kind of in some ways a loner and a self-starter in certain things and a kind of a self-motivated more that, like for me, it's like if I get there and I'm depending on somebody else to be there and they don't show up or they're really late or then it's like, like
kind of screw yourself.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, like part of me likes to not have to worry about that and I can just get in there and get it done. But then, sometimes like, especially if you're able to come, like, like it's more fun and it's more enjoyable to have that other person there.
Well, and
because you can, it's just more fun, but
Well, you get the camaraderie a little bit too, because I know you'll push me and I'll push you. And
exactly.
Things like that. So it's like, you know.
And then certain exercises, like it is nice if you have like a spotter or something.
Well,
yeah.
Having a spotter is
for important. Sure. Yeah.
You don't want to drop a weight on your face. No. That would really suck. Yeah.
No, you don't.
But I mean, now I will say this: like I am a firm believer with you in the foundational compound exercises. Like I will never stop doing deadlifts and squats and pull-ups and bench press and things like that, because I just believe that.
I mean, if you were gonna if you were only gonna do a certain type of thing and that was all you were ever gonna do stuff that's compound. I would say, just because you get the most bang for your buck, it stresses your body the most, it works so many multiple things. I mean, you can do all the curls in the world, but that's, I mean, not ever going to really do that much for you if you're not just overall training your body. So
well, and I think about it like this, because I've got to adjust my workout routine slightly to change it. Well, not. I've got to adjust it slightly to help with the running, because you know I am running a 5K, and so I want to be able to actually run that 5K.
Right.
My goal ultimately, even. I'll say this: the 5K is really just a starting point.
Yeah.
It's really just the start of my obsession, I would say, because I already feel it. I already feel the fire lit. That once I do this one, I'm gonna want to do another one.
I hope to be there the day you get to do it.
Oh, you will be. Yeah. You will be. I'm sure of it. It'll be in October.
So. Is it on a Saturday or?
Either Saturday or a Sunday. But if it is Sunday, it'll be crack of dawn. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And it's over there on McKenzie Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but I mean, shoot.
Well, then I'll be there, sir.
Yeah, as I was saying, like, you know, I'm never going to get rid of the foundational stuff, because that is foundational, but I am adjusting a little bit of the extra stuff. Like, you know, instead of doing maybe my usual shoulder presses, I will do a mile run, just because I want to build that up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But my ultimate goal, man, if I could, if I could, I would love to get a half marathon in.
Yeah.
Or even a marathon. Shoot. Could you see me out there killing myself doing a marathon?
That would be something.
Golly,
yeah.
dude.
But start with something more manageable first.
That's why I'm doing a 5K. Yeah. So the 5K is kind of my foot in the door race, and I'm pretty sure if I can if I could win that and bring home that medal.
Yeah.
That's gonna probably boost my ego too much.
And just competing in it and completing it is gonna be a huge boost anyway, whether you win or not.
Well, and see, that's what I've been preaching, because that's to me, that's my biggest mindset. It's not really about the victory at the end of the race as much as it is about what I can learn along the way.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that I've been doing to kind of help get me to the race ready point is I've been learning a lot, just preparing for it. And you know, just the high of being able to step in there and be surrounded by like-minded people who are all after the same goal, reach that finish line, you know. And you know, the coolest thing for me, I think, if I can, when I'm in there, is if I can keep up with the guys up front, that is going to be the biggest boost in my whatever I can ever ask for, because it's like at that point you're kind of telling yourself, I can kick it with the best of them, you know. And then after that, it's like, well, shoot, can't stop at one.
That's right.
But anyway, I was kind of saying, like, you know, you just got to kind of work out with what you enjoy.
Yeah.
I know you enjoy the strength training more.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, yes, I enjoy the strength training more than running. Now, that didn't used to be the case. Like, like when I first started working out again back in 2020, like I didn't want to do push-ups. I want to do weights. All I wanted to do was walk, because I mean, again, I was pretty heavy and my knees and just whatever, and so I just wanted to pretty much walk or do like a little incline hill on the treadmill, or you know. And then you know, eventually I started lightly jogging, and then eventually it was a little bit more of an actual run, and then you know, I got up to the point where I might be able to jog at a certain pace for 20-30 minutes without stopping, you know, and then that would pretty much be the end of the workout. But Yeah, and then I got the itch to, like, because, I had lifted weights before in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now that I've shed some of this weight, it's like I just kind of want to maybe get a little more toned and get a little bit stronger. And so to do that, I know I got to do the weights. So then I got back into that, and now that's kind of become more of my passion, I guess, than running. But
sure.
But
I mean, everybody's different.
But yeah. And some people, like, they may not like lifting weights. They might like swimming. Me, I don't like swimming.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because
I can swim, but I don't like swimming.
Sure.
So
it's interesting you bring that up because my boss actually just recently signed up to the gym that we go to. He actually used to swim, I think, either in college or in high school.
Okay, so he was like a competitive swimmer.
Yeah. And that's what he does.
Okay.
Nowadays.
And see, he probably really enjoys that.
He swims, and shoot,
swimming's good cardio.
Dude, it'll work every muscle in your body.
Yeah, it's good cardio.
Swimming's great, but there's people that like cycling.
Yeah. Dancing. There's people that like dancing, like being out on the lake doing the rowing.
Oh man, that'll get you a good workout.
Yeah, I mean, cycling. There's people that like doing those ruck kind of hikes where they just have that heavy bag on them and they're just basically hiking around. And I think it really comes down to whatever you're, just move your body in some way, whatever you personally enjoy.
Yeah.
I just happen to really enjoy weightlifting, but that may not be the same for everybody.
Well, shoot, yeah.
But it doesn't really matter as long as it's something you enjoy, and I mean, you do need to move your body.
Well, sure. You can't be.
You need to exercise in some capacity.
Yeah, you can't be a couch potato forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just find something that you really enjoy and just go for it. So.
Well, and that's really the key to anything.
Yeah.
Is you don't always have to copy everybody else. You can use them for inspiration, but
exactly.
You gotta find your niche.
Exactly.
You gotta find where you fit in that
Yeah.
game. As long as you're taking care of yourself and your health is improving because of what you're doing, that's really the ultimate thing that matters. Like, even in my case, I've gone through some phases. When I first started working out, just at all,
right,
I was doing what's it called? CrossFit.
Oh yeah, CrossFit.
Yeah. So I was doing like all the muscle ups and stuff everybody makes fun of.
Yep.
All that fun stuff. But dude, nothing gets you more. That stuff gets your heart rate up.
It does.
Fast.
Yeah.
And but see, I actually really like it.
Yeah. And some people really like that type of thing. And, and that's great. Like whatever you like. Yeah.
Which I haven't broke the news to you yet, but I think I'm gonna start incorporating some more CrossFit back in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, of course, like I said, not ever abandoning my foundation.
Well, yeah.
But I want some. I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it earlier today. I was just like, man, I remember when I was doing that CrossFit stuff, and it's to me it was fun. I liked the way I liked the way it felt.
Yeah.
It felt like I got a good high out of it.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna start squeezing some of that back in. I don't know, maybe little by little. It just all kind of depends. But anyway, so do you think it's okay to take a break every once in a while?
I think if you, I think it is if you take a short break. I mean, don't let it become a lifetime.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I do think there's sometimes or certain seasons in life. I mean, stuff happens, and I mean, especially if it's a tragedy or something. But you know what I mean? Like, life happens. So I do think that there's periods of time where it is okay to take a break. But even in the taking of the break, I mean, still try to be fairly conscious of like what you're eating and drinking, and still try to somewhat stay on track, even if you're not always hitting all the workouts. You know what I mean? But because if you just completely quit everything, it doesn't take long, and your body will just start to regress. It will. It's like the muscle that you don't use, you start to lose.
That is true.
I mean, it's just kind of a fact. It's like people that, if they're laid up in a hospital bed for a long period of time, their muscles, they start to atrophy, and they can't, you know what I mean? They just don't have that strength and definition and tone like they used to, and so you've got to keep your body in motion to some degree. So yeah, I do think it's okay to take some small breaks here and there, but I just wouldn't do it for very long.
Well, would you do it? Would you say it's okay to do that? I mean, I know that life gets in the way.
Yeah,
sometimes
it does.
You don't have a choice. But if you did have a choice,
yeah.
would you do it? Would you say it's better to do it after you've already lost all the weight, or kind of while you're on the journey of losing weight?
I'd say once you either get to your goal weight or close to that, yeah, because you've got to train yourself. You've got to change your mindset to like get to that place where you're gonna reach a goal. And if you stop partway through, the likelihood of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just because like for me, like now down to the weight that I'm at, I know very well what I can get away with and still stay at the same weight roughly.
Sure.
Versus if I hadn't have been so strict in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like for that first year, like when I really switched my mindset and started like the process of losing weight for a full year, like I was very strict.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't miss much.
Oh,
I would progressively increase the intensity of what I was doing. And now, not you can't do that every single time, but I mean, like as you're there at the gym or the park or wherever, but you start to realize, oh, okay, well, last time, I went, or I was able to do one less push-up than this time, or you know what I mean? Like you start to learn like how much you can do and like what weight you can do, and you start to learn like how you feel eating certain kinds of foods and how much you're eating. And there for a little while I was really tracking my calories pretty strictly. But now I kind of do more of a technique where I think it's called like intuitive eating, I think is what they call it, where it's like you really just kind of listen to your body's cues as far as like, because your body's your body tells you when you're tired, your body tells you when you're thirsty, your body's going to tell you when you're hungry. You don't really have to, your body's just going to tell you those things.
Sure, yeah.
And if you're hungry and you go for a healthier option, or you go for that big O donut, or like what you should be doing.
Oh sure. Yeah.
So I just kind of listen to my body, and I try to I know roughly how many calories I'm probably getting each day, but I don't specifically count them.
Well, and see, it's interesting you say that,
because that's so like there's people out there that they want to weigh everything, and they want to be that restrictive, and I did that for a little while. It is a lot of work.
It is.
And it's also then what would happen for me is I would get into that mode of, I'd be somewhere and somebody would bring some little something, or when I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can have that because I don't know how many calories are in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, who cares, right? Because
it's not going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you. You know, if you're not doing it all the time, and if you're still working out and you're eating healthy overall,
Well, yeah. Well, and in my case, because I did that too, I got onto MyFitnessPal and bought a little
and
food
I used
scale,
to do that.
And the problem with me was I got way too obsessed with it.
And that's the problem. You can get way too obsessed about it, and now if your goal is to step on a stage and try to be in an actual bodybuilding type contest, then you'll probably have to do that. Because most of those guys, that's what they have to do. They have to be that strict. And we won't even get into all the steroids and stuff that a lot of them do too.
Right.
But I wouldn't recommend that. But
no.
But anyway, if that's not your goal, then I think you don't have to specifically count everything, but just be aware. Be aware of what you're eating.
Well, I'll say this because intuitive eating works, except. When your body thinks you're hungry, but you're not.
Sometimes, and a lot of times that's just because people, they're not drinking enough water and things. And
interesting.
If you drink enough water, you'll have less of those problems.
Really? Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Because a lot of times when the body gets dehydrated, it thinks that it's hungry, but it's really just dehydrated. So most people, they're just most people don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of a general rule. And I mean, if you're a big, like me, I'm a big coffee drinker, but still, you know, coffee, tea, soda, whatever, while all those things may be made with water, that's not water.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you need actual water.
Exactly.
I mean, it's good for your skin, your brain, your just everything, you know, so helps flush things out.
That's true.
I mean, me personally, what I do is every day at work, I drink 44 ounces worth of water while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And then when I'm at the gym, I probably drink another 20 to 30 ounces of water. And then sometimes I might have a little other water at other parts of the day. And I mean, I still have my coffee. I'll still have a diet soda or two. But I actually I drink a lot of fluids.
Yeah.
But I do try to get a lot of water in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's a vital part of our bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, we're what, 70% water?
Yeah. I mean, yeah probably, yeah. So I know there's some people out there that they're real intentional about trying to drink, like, I think a gallon of water every day.
That's a lot of water.
I'm probably not hitting that goal by no means, but I am drinking quite a bit of water. So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I feel pretty, and the great thing about intermittent fasting, like especially like during that period of not eating, like by drinking an excess amount of water, which I do, I don't hardly ever get that hungry until it really is time to eat.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it helps a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it helps fill you
up. And I don't feel like my skin's like I'm not as dried out. I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like I have more rejuvenation, I guess, because I'm just getting a lot of water in me.
Well, and see, that's interesting because my period of failure, there's been a lot of issues that have come back because I regressed and didn't take care of anything. Like, I used to feel a lot better than I do now, and I used to be, you know, now I do get really dry and things like that, and I don't know, I feel like when I was on track doing things the right way consistently over time, I felt way better, you know.
And it's like, from a biblical point of view, it's like, you know, if the Lord made rivers of living water, he didn't make rivers of soda, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I mean, there's something to, like, the things that are natural, that are God given. It's like, you know, those are always going to be the best things to put in your body. You know, so whole foods, water, you know, I mean, stuff that's real, not man-made, processed, you know, as much.
Well, and I think for some people it feels like nothing in this world is really is not man-made anymore, but there is stuff out there that you can get that isn't.
Well, yeah. Well, and I mean, and there's always going to be the people that have that argument, you know, and there is some truth to it. Nothing is as pure as what it probably was at one time.
Sure.
But at the same time, I think we're all smart enough to know that if we go to the grocery store and we're just buying nothing but the stuff that's on the shelf that has a shelf life of a year or 5 years or whatever, that's never going to be as healthy for you as stuff that has to be kept refrigerated or frozen or it goes bad. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, and that brings up the kind of the, like, key indicator is if it has a short shelf life, 90% of the time that's because it's got less preservatives in it, which is usually going to be healthier for you anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, sure, it's not going to last freaking 10 years.
Right.
Like, didn't they do that experiment on, like, that McDonald's burger? And it's probably still there.
It still looks about the same all those years later. Yeah,
exactly. If it does that crap,
that should be a wake up call.
It's no joke, right? Just by the way, the burger that you're eating is it's lasted like 10 years and still looks like a burger.
Yeah,
probably still eat it.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but
I wouldn't either. But shoot. Well, so what's kind of the future looking like? Are you open to changing anything up, or is it going to be kind of just the same thing for the next year to come, or what you thinking?
I think I want to try to get even a little bit more consistent and dialed in on some of my workouts, and then honestly, maybe get back into a little bit of running or something again, because I haven't done that in a little while. Probably in a couple of years, I haven't really been very consistent with running, but it is something that I do think is overall good for your heart health, and I mean, I think weightlifting is too, but it's just a different way of working your heart, you know, so. I might try to get back into a little bit of running and stuff, and I'd like to get even maybe more just when I'm not at the gym or something, like more into other little things that I could do that would be kind of fun just outdoors, like, maybe just going for little walks or
Okay.
little hikes, or maybe get a bicycle, or I used to bicycle a lot.
Yeah. I've recently gotten a bike to ride around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah, because I used to really enjoy a lot of that kind of stuff. So yeah.
It's kind of funny that like my very first Couch to Champion episode, I said, I'm going to be doing some cycling, swimming, and all that. I haven't touched that bike since that episode.
I was like, a triathlon, huh? Okay.
Yeah, shoot. Now, I will say this. I may get the high of running, but I don't know if I could do a triathlon. That crap.
Yeah, that'd just be a whole nother level of training.
Dude, that is an
I mean, I think you could do it if it's really a goal that you had. I definitely think you could do it. But you'd have to want to do it. Like, it's got to be something you want to do.
Yeah, I mean,
most people will never do what they don't want to do.
Well, and see, like, that's kind of the concept that everybody brings up about the whole marathon thing is like, once you finish your first marathon, it's like, man, the feeling that you get that you are now in a level that most people don't get to.
That most people are not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, for me, I've had to work for every level of healthiness that I've gotten to, because I didn't start healthy. I didn't come out of the gate,
just healthy.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't come out of the gate healthy and knew what I was doing and all that crap.
Yeah.
Like I've really trained from day one to get to this level, and I'm still not even close, but shoot.
But you're further along than what you were.
Exactly.
I mean, even if you put on a little weight, still you've established enough like healthy practices that even if you've gotten a little off track, like how to reel it back in and get back to where you need to be. I mean, I mean, as well as I do, that it's going to take some work, but I know that you could do it, and I know that you will do it. So, just a matter of when you finally get to that point where you're like, boom, I'm going to do it. No more excuses. I'm just going to do it.
I think I'm at that point now. Like, just
when you reach that apex.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
boom!
You drop that bomb on me.
There it is.
It is kind of a little bit of an apex mindset situation. It
is.
I'll never let myself get so low that I regress. But at a certain point, you got to say enough is enough, and then you got to just jump in there and you just.
Because I mean, life is going to happen. I mean, we all have work. We all have different commitments. I mean, everybody does. But I mean, at some point, whatever the priority in life is, that's what you're going to have to do.
Exactly.
So, no different for me or you or anybody else.
Yeah. And I mean, you'll never get anywhere in life if you just sit on the couch all day.
No.
And I don't want to anyway. I mean, I got bigger ambitions, and not even just that. I don't want to spend my years on this earth unhealthy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because then, by the time, if you do that, then it's like by the time you get to a certain age and stuff starts breaking down faster than it should have, then that's going to not be good. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you can, if with your God-given abilities, if you can deflect and prevent a lot of that stuff, then I would say do that.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, for myself too, because it's like however long I'm here, it's like I want to be the healthiest version of myself I can be. I mean,
absolutely,
and not just physically, spiritually, emotionally, in every which way. But as far as the fitness, physical side of things, I mean, I know that to build muscle, I've got to go work out.
Sure.
I've got to give my muscles a reason to be strong, and if I don't ever do anything, then
exactly,
they ain't gonna get strong.
That's true.
And I'm not gonna be strong. So
yeah.
But
let's finish off. So okay,
sure.
Let's say that. Well, you know what? This would help me anyway. So, I'm currently in a position where I'm trying to get back into the gym, and I've taken my break and I've weaseled in here and there, but I'm not like 100% full-fledged back on the right habits.
Right.
What advice would you give me to like some things I could take, or some practical steps I can take now to
get back to where you kind of want to be
fully back into the habit and fully rebuild that lifestyle?
Well, I think like in your case, since I know that you're a big kind of journaler and writer, for you it'd probably be really good to like write down specific like goals that you want to have, so that way on those days when you're not feeling so motivated, you have something to physically look at, and it's like, okay, I wrote this down for a reason, and so I just need to really stick with it. But yeah, I would make a commitment to yourself that like even if it's just 2 days a week, but just make a commitment to yourself. 2 days every week. I'm gonna go to the gym. One workout maybe I'm just gonna run. The other workout maybe I'm gonna do some weights. But just make whatever it is. But make that commitment to yourself that you're gonna do that no matter what. Outside of some emergency in life,
well,
but
sure.
I mean obviously, but under most circumstances. And then one thing that'll really kickstart stuff too, like if you start intermittent fasting again, that'll really kickstart your weight going the other direction again.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that. Definitely up your water intake. I would definitely recommend that. And then just I guess day to day, kind of make those healthier choices. Like maybe don't do Fazoli's today.
Yeah. Oh, I know
ain't
it.
much at Fazoli's. It's probably very healthy.
No, not really anything at all. Yeah.
But if you prepare like beforehand, you're not as likely to fail. So like if you're at the grocery store, like you already know, oh, let's get some salmon packets, let's get some rice packets, let's get some eggs, whatever. But just if you already, because if you have that stuff and you have it here at your home, then you're a lot less likely to have the excuse of, oh, well, I just don't have anything, so I guess I have to eat out, which I've been there many times. So I know.
Oh yeah.
It's convenient to just go drive through somewhere.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it tastes good.
Of course.
But it doesn't do a lot of good for you. So,
no, it doesn't.
But yeah, maybe just write down some specific goals. Stick to like a commitment of at least maybe 2-3 days a week at the gym or park or whatever. But drink more water. Try to cut out some of the junk. Yeah.
Yeah, got me there.
Yeah, well, me too. Because sometimes, sometimes I'm eating more junk than I should too.
Yeah, it's a really easy thing to do.
But see, I'll go through my phases where like I'll allow myself to have a little bit of stuff, and then I'll pull back and I'll get real strict again.
Exactly.
So it generally balances out pretty well. But still, what would be even better than that is if I just didn't do that to start with.
That's true.
So that's something I need to work on. So
yeah.
But.
Well, you think you'll ever get back to 230 pounds?
No, not a chance. Not unless I was 230 pounds of practically pure muscle.
Dude, you'd be
which I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Because, I think he's passed on now, but Franco Columbo, he was a professional bodybuilder, and I think at the height of his bodybuilding career, and he was about my size, about 5'5", but, total body weight wise, he was only like 180, 185 pounds, but solid muscle.
That dude.
So, I mean, I will never get back to that weight.
All right.
Nor do I want to get back there.
Well, yeah, I don't.
So
I don't enjoy being at 197.
Yeah.
Either. It's not. It's not over the top, but it's not where I want to be.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And you can usually tell. I mean, you just.
I mean, your energy levels, like how you feel like you look and feel, and just, yeah. I mean, you know for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes back to your body will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you're not healthy.
Oh yeah.
If you know you're not healthy, then you might as well do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
Like you said, we all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the same God-given 24-hour block of time every day, and it's like, I mean, yeah, obviously you got to sleep part of that time. There's things in life you got to do, but I mean, we all get the same opportunity, so it's just how are you going to prioritize the time?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I mean, and like in some situations, like if I have a certain commitment or like I get off work and then I have a commitment where I got to be somewhere like not all that long after work, well, maybe I can't get in the full hour and a half workout, but if I can get in a 45-minute workout, hey, that's better than nothing.
Oh, exactly.
So yeah. I've started to, because in the past it used to be I would think, well, if I can't do that whole hour and a half, then I'll just not do it at all. But now I'm really changing my mindset to think, you know what, still something is better than nothing. So, yeah. I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's not always the full amount, at least something.
Oh, shoot.
So it's just building those good habits.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's 5 minutes and then just to get in there, run on a treadmill for 10 minutes and leave, that's better than.
I mean, because that's even if it was only 5 minutes, well, that's 5 minutes more than what you might have done the day before.
That's very true. That's
you know, true. So hey, you do enough of that over time, and then you'll be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can be there for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
You know, maybe I can be there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, just keep building up. And
just keep building up. You know, and you're not going to need to be there 6 hours, but you know, you just you know if you're really pushing and if you're not.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
We all know that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think I better wrap it up before we have a 4-parter on our hands. So, John, man, that was a fantastic conversation.
Awesome convo, man.
And I appreciate you coming back here for another episode.
For sure.
If you tempt me too much, I'm going to end up making this a series, and I'm going to keep dragging you back.
I'm available.
Well, I don't know. It's crossed my mind.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's a very interesting topic.
Who knows the progression that could happen?
You never know. Shoot, you may end up coming back up in here, and you're a 230-pound beast of pure muscle, and have to expand my door frame just to get you through.
Yeah. Hopefully more muscle, but hopefully never that heavy.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. If at your height, that's pretty.
Pretty unlikely. Yeah.
But shoot, for me, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, we'll wrap it up there. And,
sounds good.
We'll see you in the next one.
All right. Appreciate it.